Over the summer, I was looking for a worship song, and originally I wanted to do Glorious Day by Passion. I couldn't afford it because licensing a song is difficult and can cost a lot of money. So I was looking in the public domain, and I found I Surrender All, which I've heard, the worship team do it at the church a couple times. I really love that song. It's really powerful, and I'm like, I wonder how we can make the story very powerful. So I had an idea. I started asking Kevin and Isaac and getting a little band together to see if they wanted to help. And I even hired a professional saxophone player. His name's Marcus. He did an incredible job. So I kind of had an idea for how we wanted to arrange the song. Like, we took I Surrender All. I'm like, we should have a little saxophone lick here. There should be a sax solo here, because this is Nathan's biggest moment, and I really wanted it to show through this song.
It's this thing that it's probably the most difficult thing to do as a Christian, as these people who are living in the world, who are aspiring to something bigger. To surrender all is really the most difficult thing to do, but it's what Christ calls us to do. And so I think hearing that song is not only a great reminder, but it's also, it puts you in the mindset of what Jesus actually did for us. He came into this world knowing he was going to die. From the beginning, he knew he was not going to be accepted. He was going to die, and he surrendered all of that for us. And so when I hear that song, it puts me in that place, and it makes me think about that, and it makes me aspire to be closer to Christ in that way.
So we start here in the studio with either a scratch track or just an acoustic demo, and then we'll add drums, bass, electric guitar, keys, vocals, and stack that all on each other, mix it, edit it, make it sound real nice, and put it together.
Once that song was chosen, then the arrangement was kind of agreed upon. We went into the studio into Isaac's studio with all the musicians, and luckily we had some really great players, and so we just kind of played through it a few times and worked out some kinks, and then we started laying down some final takes. And then after the band was all done, then I went over in the corner and I did my vocals, and then Isaac mixed it, and it came back sounding fantastic.
We had kind of a demo to go off of, what the song kind of might be like, but we really didn't know until we struck it up and ran through it one time, and just watching it all come together right quick was really interesting, because that's one of the most fun things about recording music, is you're creating something. You're not just playing somebody's chart. You're actually you're creating a different something out of something. It's really exciting to be a part of that. Isaac's studio, I think that might have been the first project that he did in his brand new studio. So that was pretty exciting.
That process was pretty straightforward, as is any recording project when you're just doing a song. Basic tracks were laid down, and then overdubs focusing on the vocals and also on the saxophone part.
The saxophone takes up a lot of space, kind of in the same range as like electric guitar, vocals, so we spent some time, finding a space where the saxophone can really, be highlighted and kind of, really pop out and have a space for that without overtaking, the entire vocal of the entire song. So we spent some time, finding a little bit here and a little bit there where we should take out, hence the very beginning, it started out really chill, kind of off click, off meter, and that kind of worked out, kind of gave us a section where the saxophone was highlighted, and then the rest of the song kind of came in and kind of let the vocal take presence.
Our project, as it unfolded at the Denver campus, was something that, to me being a novice in audio or in the video world, because audio is more my background, was definitely a layer of parts or a layer of shots taken on what we were trying to do with the song. I know that the camera availability was somewhat limited, so we were using, I believe, one, maybe two cameras at most to get the shots captured. So it was a lot of patience and just taking time to take multiple shots of each person in their location, behind their instrument or on the microphone, or with the saxophone player as well. So those perspectives can be in post-production edit.
And we got to shoot it like a music video. Like, we played it through the PA system. We had the in-ears Avion systems in their ears so they would never miss a beat. And we had Nick, I was showing him what to do, when to do movements. It was just really incredible to see basically how we fake played it on stage to the camera. From what we spent so many hours recording in the studio, we came back here and they kind of faked it to make it work for camera, and it's really impressive. It really did an awesome job, and I'm really excited to see how it pursues to, like, you know, the vision of audience people, how they see it and what they think of the song. So I think it's really, how much time we spent is really going to show, and it's really going to be impressive.
Really cool that I got to be a part of a Christian production that uses a worship song that we can all play together as musicians and see in a film, but also we know the meaning behind it and the impact that it's going to have on the viewers. So that was a really cool opportunity.
Man, I always enjoy working with all the people. So the people are the best part about it. So I play a lot of instruments here, so I can do a lot of stuff by myself, but sometimes it's just fun to have people, a full band in the studio behind you, just be able to, you know, have a drummer, have a bass player, guitar player, vocalist, just kind of all come together and, you know, make a united team. That's a really cool, unique thing that not everyone can do. So it's fun. You know, got some feedback from Austin and the team, and yeah, so it's kind of a trial and error kind of thing about what kind of works, and I think it turned out well.
I really enjoy being in the studio because most of the people that I knew working on the project were already acquaintances that I had in serving together at our church. That was a lot of fun, and just to get to know people in a different level and a different atmosphere. And as far as being at the Denver campus to actually shoot the video portion, watching Austin and watching his team, a very well-oiled machine. They did such a good job of making the best of their time, being very efficient, being very specific about what they asked people to do, and I thought that was incredible.
I think the hardest challenge was finding a unique spot for how we're doing the entire song versus also using the song for film. I know we kind of went back and forth on how we're going to use bits and pieces of where the song fits, kind of shortening it up. Just finding it, you know, its unique spot of how it interprets and how it works with the film. I think that would probably be the biggest challenge.
So the hardest thing about doing this, since I've really never done it before in shooting a music video, was just to try to act natural and relax. And maybe even just not to make it any harder than it really was. Just to play my part and to acknowledge what was already put down in the recording studio and reproduce that. And just be flexible and free about doing that.
I can't wait to see how Austin brings it all together, and we get to see this song and what it means to the story that they've created, and how the actors come together with all the scenes and bring the emotion into the final result.
Man, I'm excited to see all the people that this kind of, you know, impact in people's lives that may not know the Lord or may not know you know, anything about music. Maybe you could bring them into both sides of music and the church. So I think that's a really cool thing.
I'm excited to see where this takes Austin and his next endeavor or his next level as a video producer, movie producer, where this might lead, you know, 3, 5, 10 years down the road. I'll always be looking back, checking in with Austin to find out just how did this help him become the person he wanted to be in an audiovisual field.
See you guys.